think? What you think is? You think it's an issue with the milk or?
Maybe because they just switched the caramel to the milk.
Yeah,
Got your roll, bro.
I know you. I know you. Shut up. Shut up. I know you.
Ain't no mystery, man.
I know you though. I know you though. I know you though. I know you.
I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son. Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas. His ass going to prison.
T.I. may have just severely damaged the already strained relationship he has with his son, King Harris. This time, T.I. did not simply reprimand his son. Instead, he took him to court to demand custody of his grandson, Little King Jr. This action essentially means that T.I. has served King with legal papers, publicly declaring him to be an unfit parent.
You can talk to me. Until then, ain't nothing going. Call who you need to call, do what you need to do. Ain't nothing happening. No money, no beers.
T.I.'s entire argument is founded on a simple yet serious premise. King is not ready to be a father, just as T.I. had foreseen months ago. He alleges that King is unstable and reckless, and his unpredictable behavior is endangering his infant son. T.I. refuses to stand by and watch his son self-destruct while also putting a child at risk. The central question remains, will King stand firm and fight his father to retain custody, or will he buckle under the immense pressure and permanently lose his son? This custody dispute did not arise suddenly. It had been simmering for weeks until it erupted into public view online. Rumors about turmoil within the Harris household had been circulating for weeks, but they were initially dismissed by many. However, everything changed when court documents were leaked, revealing that T.I. had formally filed for custody against his son. Reports even suggest that T.I. did not rely on lawyers alone. He personally wrote to the judge, asserting that King is unfit to be a parent.
Crazy. God damn. Snap back, King. Get right.
Bro, what do you be looking at? What you be looking at? Hey. You falling over, Captain.
That particular line completely altered the dynamic of the situation. T.I. was not merely suggesting that King needed help. He was directly labeling him a danger to his own child. This accusation was more impactful to King than any lyrical diss could ever be. The moment the legal documents were made public, King reacted emotionally. He reportedly went to T.I. and Tiny's house, took his son, and left abruptly, abandoning everything as if in a dramatic movie scene. Once he was at a distance, he called his father and expressed all of his pain and anger. King felt betrayed and humiliated, as if he had been stabbed in the back by the very person who was supposed to support him unconditionally. This was not just a conflict, it was an act of heartbreak.
A lot of people hit me up like, King, I know you tired, you ain't getting no sleep, and the truth be told, before this little I ain't been getting no sleep, you know what I'm saying? I just been outside working, lifestyle, lifestyle just life, you know what I'm saying? And, but now I'm damn sure not getting no sleep. This up every morning, and then around the morning time, he like to do that little live concert I be doing with him. And he like to walk around the house. So
that was the exact tipping point where the Harris family's private drama escalated into a full-blown public conflict. However, the situation becomes even more complicated when you consider the deep bond between King and Little Jr., which helps to explain King's explosive reaction. Despite all the chaos surrounding him, King genuinely beams with joy when he is with his son. When his baby's mother, Yaya, first announced her pregnancy, many people expected him to abandon his responsibilities. Given his wild past, he was always seen as the reckless one, the one who would crash and burn rather than rise to the occasion. Surprisingly, he initially embraced fatherhood. When Junior was born, King was overjoyed, constantly posting photos, writing songs, and sharing captions on Instagram, as if he had finally discovered his life's purpose. For a brief period, it truly seemed that being a father was the one thing that could redeem him. Unfortunately, old habits are difficult to break, and King's decline was swift. The most significant turning point was his highly publicized arrest, which was more than just a bad night out. It was a moment that nearly tarnished the Harris family's reputation in the eyes of the public.
what you want to do? You want to take my gun off my head?
Yes, sir.
There's one in the head.
Does your buddy have one as well?
Put some guns in here.
All right, just hang tight right here for me. Let me clear this. I don't want any accidental fires.
no safety. You gotta take.
There's no safety.
Just take the
Okay.
clip out.
Well, I'm not gonna mess around with that too much. You just set this down right here. Dude, step out
Get
for
out
me.
now.
Yes, sir. Place your hands behind your back for me. All right, right now you're just being detained. You're not under arrest. We're gonna be at the church. All right, I appreciate you being cool now. We're just gonna take a look at this information, make sure it's valid.
I ain't feeling this.
Just take a step to the side for me. Hey, boss, you don't have any firearms on you?
I do, but it's concealed.
Okay, just leave it where it's at. You cool? You cool, man? Just
For sure.
stand by.
King was not simply pulled over. He was apprehended after being seen driving erratically and nearly crashing his BMW into a police car at a gas station. At that very moment, his future began to slip away uncontrollably. The situation worsened when police officers detected the smell of marijuana, discovered a gun tucked into his waistband, and then checked his name. What came up was significant: an outstanding warrant from 2022 for speeding, a DUI, and driving with a suspended license. He had been evading the warrant, hoping it would simply go away, but this time there was no escape. When he was handcuffed, cameras captured the entire incident. The expression on his face was not just one of fear, it was one of deep regret, a quiet realization that this time he might lose more than just his freedom.
Hitting me and getting in my comments, telling me what to tell King, okay? I know my son. Think I ain't spoke to my son? Think I ain't told my son, his mama, and his grandmamas? His ass going to prison. If you got to keep this shit up, his ass going to prison. Ain't no way around it. Ain't nothing I'm gonna be able to do about it. Can't nobody stop it but him. You know what I mean? I've already had that conversation. I've already made my peace with it. Because I know that energy. I was that energy. I know exactly how it's gonna turn out.
He could potentially lose custody of his son. Even the officer who arrested King noted that he was strangely calm. This wasn't the calm of someone in control, but rather of someone who finally understood that he had crossed a serious line. When T.I. arrived to post bail, the most prominent emotion wasn't anger, it was profound disappointment. This wasn't just a celebrity father bailing out his famous son, it was a father realizing that his child was following the exact same destructive path he had once taken. This time, however, an innocent baby was involved. T.I. had been warning King for years that this was inevitable. Back in 2022, when King began going viral for his unruly behavior, T.I. publicly pleaded with him to slow down.
Stop talking to me. This ain't your restaurant. This ain't your restaurant. Everything you make, I can pull out my pocket right now. I ain't tripping on you. I ain't tripping. Get the hell out of my face. I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to you. Who the hell is he? What's your name? My name King. You know it and your mama know it. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Tell your mama Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. That file show. What? On game what? On game what? Come here. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. I'll show you what I do. Come here. Come here.
He warned his son, his son's mother, and even the grandmother to be vigilant because he knew where that lifestyle inevitably leads, to jail or worse. This was not an empty threat. T.I. had lived that life himself, paid the severe consequences, and desperately wanted a better future for his children. However, King ignored the warnings, continued his reckless behavior, and now they are embroiled in courtrooms, custody battles, and a family feud spilling out onto social media.
To make him look better, he said that he know not true. Silver spoon, I ain't never ate with that day a day in my life.
Nigga, you did have a silver spoon.
Look, I used to have to come to my grandma's house because I'm getting in the
You
fight.
cried like a baby to go to your grandmama's house.
Every day.
You used to hold your breath.
Every day.
Can't lose it. I know you. You can't. I know you. I know you. I know you.
Shut up. Shut
I
up.
know you.
Ain't no mystery, man.
I know you though. I know you though.
Shut up.
I know you though. I know you. What's wrong with y'all? Why y'all doing that to me? Y'all know me. You know I stand on business.
One of the initial public blemishes on King's reputation was his infamous meltdown at Waffle House. While it may seem insignificant, the incident revealed his temper and sense of entitlement to be on a completely different level. He became enraged over a pickle on his sandwich, screaming at the staff, threatening their jobs, flaunting his wealth, and recording the entire incident as if it were a point of pride.
Those motherfucking 12 pull up and they say, hey, who do you belong to? Who raised their hand? Somebody got to raise their hand.
I've been seeing him around too there a lot.
You gonna raise your own hand?
I've been seeing him around too.
Huh?
Well, when you got you
got drugs
when
in
y'all got drugs around those legal guns,
that called
it's not
possession of a firearm and commission of a crime, sir. That is a felony. Thank you.
However, the internet was not impressed. Instead of gaining him influence, the video portrayed him as a spoiled brat who disrespected working people. Even worse, it embarrassed his parents. Their reputations were tarnished, their parenting was scrutinized, and T.I. was left shaking his head in disbelief. This was not the behavior of a young man trying to build a lasting legacy. It was his son celebrating disorder. That is what hurts T.I. the most, because King did not grow up in poverty. He did not wake up to cockroaches or worry about whether he would eat that day.
He just became a father, so I got 2 grandchildren now.
Wow, congrats.
Yeah, I got 2 granddaughters. I got a grandson on the way.
Wow.
King's about to have a son.
King's about to have a son. Congrats.
Yeah. And I told him I'm gonna make this the greatest gangster of all times. I will raise this child to torture you the way that you tortured me. I promise you, there will be an indictment in this young one.
T.I. provided King with everything he himself never had: comfort, safety, and opportunity. Despite this, King parades as a hardened hustler, constantly trying to prove a toughness he never had to earn. This ongoing friction between father and son finally came to a head in a very public place, an Atlanta Falcons game. What began as a simple back-and-forth conversation quickly escalated when King told his father that he did not grow up with a silver spoon in his mouth.
He's so cute. Hey, cutie. Hey,
How you doing? You having a
got
good
your
day?
robe on? Yeah, he did. Well, you went
It dropped.
Yeah.
So what you think? If you think it's an issue with the milk or?
Maybe because they just switched the caramel to the less ingredient.
That specific statement deeply offended T.I. To him, it was not merely disrespectful. It was a denial of everything he had sacrificed to provide a better life for his children. He immediately reminded King, right there in front of everyone, that he never had to wake up with roaches on his face or worry about where his next meal was coming from. King retorted that he grew up in a rough neighborhood at his grandmother's house. At that moment, 2 conflicting realities clashed: T.I.'s memory of providing for his family versus King's perception of a difficult upbringing. The argument quickly escalated, turned physical, and went viral. The world witnessed not just a father-son dispute, but years of built-up tension exploding in a crowded stadium. This incident made one thing abundantly clear: if they were willing to fight like that in public, one could only imagine what was happening behind closed doors. Fans in the comments did not hold back, with some saying, "The fact he thinks he came up in the streets is hilarious." Others commented, "He's only gotten passes because of his parents. Go survive out there for real without them and see what happens." These comments received hundreds of likes as they summarized how the public truly perceives King as a privileged and out-of-touch young man obsessed with proving he is something he is not. For many people, it is like watching someone with every possible advantage throw it all away to fit into a lifestyle that does not genuinely want him. At that point, King could have chosen to turn his life around and improve his image, especially with a child on the way. That would have been the perfect opportunity to mature. Instead of seizing the moment, he doubled down on his behavior, continuing to post videos, flaunt guns, act tough, and seek validation in all the wrong places. That's when T.I. realized his son was on a direct path to disaster. The situation became so dire that even other celebrity fathers had to get involved. A memorable instance was when both Boosie and T.I. had to confront their sons. King and Boosie's son, Tootie Raw, had filmed a music video flaunting guns as if they were props in a trap film. Both fathers quickly intervened, scolding them on camera. T.I. was not amused. His expression showed nothing but pure disappointment. He asked King why he cared more about appearing like a gangster than about enjoying a life filled with opportunities, money, and women. He told him bluntly, guns and flexing only lead to one place, jail. You could hear the pain in T.I.'s voice. That warning came from a place of experience. That warning carried the emotional weight of a father who had lived that exact life and knew precisely how it ends. But King did not listen. Not only did he continue to ignore the warnings, but he also proved his father right by getting arrested shortly after. For T.I., that was the final straw. At this stage, the problem was no longer about music videos, Waffle House tantrums, or chasing fame. It was about an innocent child's future. T.I. questioned how King could be trusted to protect his son if he couldn't even protect himself. What makes this story even more complex is how T.I. and Tiny treat their grandson, Little Jr. From the moment they learned they were becoming grandparents, they fully embraced the role. T.I. was excited, talking about it on podcasts, making public announcements, and gushing about his grandson on camera. Every video of him holding Jr. goes viral, and fans often comment, T.I. looks more invested in this baby than King does. This observation says a lot because for T.I., this is not just about disciplining his son, it is about saving a child from becoming another victim of bad decisions. When you take a broader view, the custody battle makes complete sense from T.I.'s perspective. This is a man who fought his way out of the streets, survived prison time, overcame legal challenges, and built a legacy from nothing. Now he is watching his own son play with fire, romanticizing the very lifestyle he sacrificed so much to escape. For T.I., it feels like a terrible case of deja vu, but worse, because now a baby's future is at stake. To him, taking custody is not about control. It's about breaking a generational curse before it can take hold. Meanwhile, King's silence is telling. He has not posted much or lashed out online, which is very unusual for him. Normally, he is quick to express his feelings through rants, song snippets, or live style reams. His current silence is alarming. It could mean he is strategizing his next move, perhaps preparing to fight back in court or to prove everyone wrong. Alternatively, it could mean he is already defeated, too ashamed or overwhelmed to respond. Either way, his next action could permanently alter his family's story. However, this is not just about a spoiled celebrity child. King represents a pattern that is all too common among the children of the famous and privileged. They grow up in mansions, attend private schools, and live in luxury, yet they desperately crave street credibility. They want to prove they are tough and can survive in an environment they have never had to endure. While many people might shake their heads, the truth is that this mindset can ruin lives because the streets are unforgiving. Once you start playing those games, there is no special treatment for celebrity kids. They can get hurt, arrested, or worse, just like anyone else. T.I. understands this reality. This is why T.I. is treating this custody case with the gravity of a life or death situation, because in a way, it is. If King continues on his current path, Junior will be the one to suffer the consequences. And if Junior grows up without stability, the cycle of dysfunction will only repeat itself. That is the nightmare T.I. is desperately trying to prevent from becoming a permanent part of the Harris family legacy. However, regardless of how logical T.I.'s actions may appear on paper, the emotional impact is devastating. Imagine your own father suing you, publicly declaring you unfit, and essentially telling the world that you are a danger to your own child. For King, this is more than just a legal matter. It's a profound personal betrayal and a source of deep humiliation. It stings even more because deep down, he likely knows that some of what his father is saying may be true. A wound of this nature does not heal quickly. The situation is a complex entanglement of family, fame, pride, and legacy, which is why people cannot stop following it. Every leaked document, every rumor, and every video clip feels like a new episode of a dramatic television show. But this is not scripted. It is real life. The captivating part is watching one of hip-hop's most respected fathers struggle to control a son who refuses to be controlled, all while an innocent child is caught in the crossfire. From the outside, the Harris family appeared to have everything: money, fame, and opportunities most people only dream of. Yet behind the scenes, there is chaos and tension, with a son who feels misunderstood and a father who feels betrayed. The most shocking part is that all of this drama is unfolding in the public eye. Every argument, every meltdown, and every arrest is scrutinized online, turning their personal struggles into entertainment for millions of strangers. This adds another layer of pressure, as King cannot work things out privately. Every move he makes is judged by fans, critics, and the media. For someone already struggling with instability, this constant spotlight is like pouring gasoline on a fire. King's behavior highlights the internal conflict between his privilege and his desire for a street identity. On one hand, he has a life full of opportunities, connections, money, and a family legacy that could open countless doors in music, business, or television. Instead of embracing this, he desperately seeks validation from the streets, trying to prove he is real. It's as if he cannot accept that his father worked so hard to escape that life precisely so he would not have to. This contradiction is slowly eroding their relationship. T.I. wanted to shield his son from the pain he once endured, but King views that protection as something that robbed him of credibility. It is a generational clash, with two realities that are fundamentally incompatible. The more King rebels against that shield, the more reckless his actions become. From his Waffle House outbursts to flaunting guns online, it is as if he is desperate to show the world his toughness. But each attempt only serves to expose his immaturity. This is precisely why people online mock King. They see a privileged kid pretending to be something he is not. And while fans find it amusing, T.I. does not. To him, every single one of King's stunts is proof that his son is on a path that will end in handcuffs or tragedy. This is why the custody battle feels like T.I.'s last stand, his final opportunity to hit the brakes before it is too late. However, it is important not to overlook the human side of King's story. As much as he has struggled, you cannot deny that he loves his son. Videos and photos of King with Junior show a genuine happiness and a softer side of him that is not always apparent amid the chaos. This is what makes the situation so tragic. It is not a simple case of good versus evil. King is not a heartless villain. He is a young man torn between his ego, his immaturity, and his newfound responsibility. He wants to be a good father, but he has not yet matured beyond his own teenage mindset. This internal conflict is tearing him apart, and T.I. fears that the collateral damage will fall on Junior. When T.I. discusses his grandson in interviews, his pride and joy are undeniable, as if he sees this as a second chance at fatherhood. People online have also noticed this, often commenting that T.I. seems more dedicated to Junior than King himself. This comparison is deeply hurtful, as it portrays King as careless while his father takes on the role of the responsible one. For a son already struggling with his identity, this only fuels his resentment. But from T.I.'s perspective, this is not a competition. It is about protecting the one innocent life caught in the middle of their feud. Now, everything hangs in a state of uncertainty. King's silence has led to endless speculation. Is he preparing for a comeback, ready to fight for custody and prove he can handle fatherhood? Or has he conceded, allowing T.I. to take control while he figures out his next move? That uncertainty keeps fans engrossed, waiting for the next development, because whatever King does next will shape not just his own future, but the entire Harris legacy. This entire situation feels like a stark warning, not only for King, but for every child of fame and privilege who tries to romanticize a life they have never had to endure. The streets do not care about a person's last name, whether their father is a rap legend or if their family is wealthy. Once you enter that lifestyle, you are playing by rules you cannot bend, and you do not get special treatment when things go wrong. T.I. knows this from personal experience, which is why he is fighting so hard. For him, this is not just about custody. It is about saving his family from a cycle that has already destroyed countless others. But no matter what the outcome, one thing is certain: this is far from over. Whether it plays out in courtrooms, online rants, or private family feuds, the Harris family drama is destined to continue. King still has an opportunity to redeem himself, to rise to the occasion and prove that he can be the father Junior deserves. But if he continues to ignore the warnings, his story might become a sad example of wasted potential. T.I., no matter how frustrated he may be, will always carry the burden of knowing that he tried everything in his power to prevent it. The world is watching, the family is divided, and the stakes have never been higher. This isn't just a custody battle, it's a fight over legacy, pride, and survival. Until the dust finally settles, one thing is certain: the Harris family name will be forever changed.